Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Soulja Talk the podcast. I'm your host, Staff Sergeant McPherson, and on this show we discuss military topics with current and prior service members. Okay, you guys. So I know you guys see the title of this video, right? So the title of this video is I know when a U.S. Army soldier cares or not. Make sure you guys tune into this video. Okay, you guys. So before we get started, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're liking the content, let me know. If you got any future ideas for future episodes, also let me know about that. And if you would like to be a guest on the show, you can email me at podcast. You can email me at podcast@soldiertalk.com. So that's podcast@soldiertalk.com. You want to be a guest on the show. So we're gonna get it straight into it. So I know if a U.S. Army soldier cares or not. So it's a lot of things that go into this. It's a lot of things that I look at as an NCO where I can tell where I have grown into an NCO to where now I know what to look at to tell if a soldier cares or not, right? So it's four things that I'm gonna cover, right? It's four things that I'm gonna cover to know these things. So the first thing is showing up on time. So showing up on time is big in the Army. You know, me, I look at if a soldier be always on time, are they always late? You know what I mean? Are they showing up 15 minutes prior or what? You know what I mean? Um, Leaders pay attention to this type of stuff. They look at they look at to see are you gonna be on time? You know, me, I've always been a punctual person, so that's never been a problem for me. But yeah, you want to make sure you on time for things. It shows that you care. It shows that you care about people's time and you're not wasting it. So the next thing is your uniform. So you can look at a soldier from head to toe while they're in uniform and tell if they care or not. It's gonna change over time because young soldiers they not gonna be looking at this. They don't pay attention to the same thing as senior NCOs or senior officers look at. You know what I mean? So it's gonna change, but I'm just gonna give soldiers a heads up on what they need to be paying attention to and what leaders pay attention to when they looking at your uniform or of anything to tell the form an opinion about you. So me, they gonna look at they gonna look to see, is it iron? Is your uniform neat? Is it clean? Do you have on uniforms that you done had for 15 years? Do you have on a uniform to where you can tell you been in the field with it? You got dirt stains on your uniforms. Like I look at this type of stuff. You know what I mean? Invest in some new uniforms, guys. It shows that you care. Another thing is the boots. So I look at a soldier's boots. Or do they look old? Do they look worn down? You have to pay attention to these things. You gotta make sure you stand on top of that as far as like your appearance, your boots, the boots that you got on. You don't want to wear boots that look like they worn down or just got spots all over them. Make sure you guys invested in some new boots. Patches is another thing, guys. So patches, we don't get clothing allowance for nothing. So use your clothing allowance and invest in some patches. Don't be walking around with patches that you've been had since basic training. If you started when you put on your uniform in the morning, or if you notice when you throughout the day, you notice your patches is lifting up on your uniform. You can see like how you can see they getting old by like the thread coming up off the side of them. You know, make sure you guys investing in some new patches often, because I look at that. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure senior leaders look at that also. That stands out. You know, when you got new patches on. Uh, the next thing is your work ethic. So, what I mean by work ethic is a soldier putting in effort when they at work. You know, uh, it says a lot about a person who goes the extra mile for their leaders. When they go in the extra mile, when they are just doing any type of task, are you willing to stay late to get things done? You know, do you always want to go home early? Or you want to know like this type of stuff that I look at, I make sure everything is done before I leave, or I know exactly what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I make sure I'm not behind on anything before I leave. You know what I mean? And also, are you trying to learn your job? You know what I mean? Are you uh paying, like, do you have like some sort of mentor to where like you learning new things about your job? You know what I mean? Because whatever your job is, right? People gonna come to you to be like the SME, the subject matter expert in whatever it is you do. So you want to make sure you are working on your craft, which is your MOS. You're gonna make sure you're working on these things, guys. Uh, yeah, and that's it. Work ethic, that says a lot about you. Don't be trying to leave work early all the time. Stay late sometimes. Be ahead on things. Get ahead on things. And no, it's actually five things I got, guys. One, two, three, four, and it's four. So the last thing I want to get is your AO, right? And that's your area of operation. So that's where you work at. Me as a supply sergeant, when I first get into a supply room, I make sure it's neat and clean. Because that's gonna say a lot to your commander. That's gonna say a lot to whoever is coming into your AO. They say, okay, this person is organized. This person he cares about what's going on. You know what I mean? If I come into an AO and it's like documents everywhere, old binders with regulations from the 1950s, like, I pay attention. I look at this type of stuff. You know what I mean? That says you don't care about your AO. You don't care about what's going on. You're not, you know, uh, that's big. And your AO can be anything, guys. Your AO can be, you might be on CQ for that day. You might be on staff duty for that day. Your AO says a lot about you. And this is the last thing that I can tell if a soldier cares or not. These are the things that I look at to tell if a soldier cares or not. Are they showing up on time? I look at their uniform, their work ethic. You know, are they putting in some hours and work? Are they reading SOPs? Are they reading regulation? You know, and the last thing, your AO. How does your AO look? You know what I mean? Your AO presentation. And no, I know it's a lot more that I just can't think of right now, but I know it's a lot more that senior leaders can probably comment down in the comment section and let me know what some more things that they notice if a soldier cares or not. And to kind of piggyback off the uniform thing, your actual service uniform, you know what I mean? Is it updated? Is it clean? You know what I mean? Uh, because you never know when it's like you might, as an NCO, you never know when you might have to take a soldier to the board. You never know when, we have any type of uniform inspection. I haven't, yeah, uniform inspection. You want to make sure the service uniform is good to go also. Uh, and I think that's all I had to cover for you guys. Let me know if I missed anything, you know. So this has been another episode of Soulja Talk the podcast, and I see you guys in formation.